You're always in my thoughts. How wonderful it is to think that certain people we're fond of feel the same way about us. The magic of the beginning, when we meet someone who seems to complement us perfectly and with whom we are clearly on the same wavelength, is truly intoxicating. Our thoughts circle exclusively around her or him. We find it difficult to concentrate and constantly digress into a dreamy world in which a very specific someone plays the leading role. At the thought of these people, a pleasant tingling in the stomach sets in. Our heartbeat increases slightly but noticeably, our pupils dilate, and nervousness in its most beautiful form spreads through us. The only thing that torments us at this stage of getting to know each other is she or he thinking about me? It cannot be scientifically proven, but numerous observations clearly show that thoughts can manifest themselves in certain ways. There are 9 clear physical symptoms that indicate that a certain person is thinking about you intensely at that moment. If you like our videos, please support us with a thumbs up, subscribe to Psychology in Mind, activate the little bell, and get ready for the videos we upload for you every day. Number 1. Dreams seem very real. There are already countless findings about dreams. What they all have in common is the fact that dreams are much more than just our subconscious mind using the night to process impressions of the day. They represent our desires, longings, and fears, and often show us in all clarity that it is time for a change. If you receive dreams that are clearly about a certain person, he or she is probably directing all his or her energy mentally and emotionally in your direction. When we are asleep, it is easier to receive telepathic messages because our reasonable, rational consciousness cannot resist them. So if you have recently met someone you can't get out of your head, feel free to let her or him sprinkle his or her fairy dust there at night as well. Every step towards each other is a step in the right direction. Number 2. Goosebumps. If you suddenly feel goosebumps on a beautiful sunny day, a delicious shiver runs down your spine, and you can't shake the feeling that the temperature around you has just spontaneously dropped a few degrees, someone is thinking very hard about you. Energetic movements cannot be explained scientifically or rationally. However, this does not mean that they are not clearly perceived and described identically by numerous people over and over again. Such cold currents also do not necessarily have to come from deceased people who greet us from the intermediate world. Living people have the ability to release energy with their strength of sheer thoughts, signals that can arrive at the receiver in a very different form. Important for the cosmic exchange is only that the message is received. How it is received exactly doesn't play too large a role, so it can be good old-fashioned goosebumps. Number 3. Your cheeks or ears start to glow. When someone unexpectedly pays us a nice compliment, praises us, or catches us doing something naughty, our cheeks and ears spontaneously blush and heat up. Blushes of shame, blushes of anger, and hot ears are not common terms for nothing. However, if there is no one physically present at the moment who could make you blush and yet you feel a pleasant heat and comforting warmth spontaneously spreading across your cheeks and ears, then someone is directing their thoughts and feelings in your direction. Some theories even say that the cheeks receive mainly negative feelings, such as when someone feels envy, resentment, or anger towards you. His flood of thoughts then figuratively sends you a telepathic slap in the face. Your ears, on the other hand, respond to compliments and attempts at flirtation by imitating the color of love and radiating heat. Number 4. You feel very clear signs of telepathy. You can't explain telepathy with reason any more than you can explain any other phenomena that belong to the metaphysical realm. Nevertheless, this does not mean that they do not exist. The aphorism, "one soul, two bodies," does not come by chance. If we feel a deep connection to someone, it may well happen that our thought patterns meet at some point and make an exchange, completely without our conscious awareness. By the way, people who go through life with above-average empathy are particularly susceptible to telepathic exchange. Number 5. Sudden sneezing attacks come out of nowhere. Of course, it can also be an allergy or dust particles in the air, the sun in the morning, or a cold coming on. All of these can suddenly give us violent sneezing fits. However, even the ancients, i.e., the generation of our grandparents and great-grandparents, instinctively knew that an itchy nose together with a sneeze means that someone is thinking of us. It's amazing when you consider that these generations were mainly pragmatic and grounded in their lives, and had no time for philosophical contemplation. Number 6, the feeling of physical presence is perceptible. This is a particularly intense form of telepathy, mainly enjoyed by people who have just fallen in love. If you long for the other person mentally and emotionally so strongly, you can actually feel him or her at some point, even if there are long distances between you. Number 7, an eye burns or itches for no reason. Again, of course, allergy is not out of the question. However, our eyes are much more than just our visual organs. They are known to be the gateway to our innermost being and the mirror of our soul. So it's no wonder when someone else's thoughts use this portal to demonstrate their presence. Number 8, emotions come over you suddenly and unexpectedly. When feelings come at you in waves and you are suddenly hit with these warm spurts of emotion, again, the cause may be because someone is mentally with you. Feelings release powerful energy flows, so the fact that these can manifest elsewhere is not surprising. Number 9, hiccups plague you. This phenomenon was also known to whole generations before us. They all interpreted it identically, which in itself suggests that there must be some truth to it. As annoying as a hiccup can be, someone is thinking of you and may even be talking about you at that moment. Today's conclusion: you know it when you feel it. You might believe in such universal signs or not. The very fact that their interpretations have been making the rounds for generations and have been passed down from one family member to the next speaks volumes. Our thoughts may not be quite as strong and overwhelming as our feelings, and yet what can take root in our minds is only a step away from reality. Those who would like to see these 9 connections as myths and legends, or for the strictly scientific thinkers among us, in the context of selective perception, are welcome to do so. However, those who have once felt in their bodies how clearly foreign thoughts can manifest themselves physically will no longer doubt it so quickly. That's it for today.
Thanks for watching. Did you find this information helpful? Do you have experience with it? We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. For more resources about mental health, self-improvement, and psychology, visit our website. You'll find the link in the video description where you can also connect with us on social media and sign up for our email list. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful day.